Welcome back to One People Media. One people, one nation, one destiny. And here, we bring you the latest news, culture, and stories that matter to you. Subscribe now and be part of the journey. This is One People Media. Your voice, your stories, your Guyana.
Trauma. Now, she has asked to see further photos of Adriana at the poolside and stuff. I do know that. So she wants to look at different things. From what I understand today, she hasn't given a lot of information at this time because she's doing it properly. And she is asking to see more things. She's phoned up. She's asked, like, can I see this as well? Can I see this as well? Can I see this? So she's actually asking a lot of stuff and a lot of questions. And at the moment, also, the family don't have a lot of information. The lawyers don't have a lot of information. Thank you, Paula. Thank you, Shah. They've been asked to do a thorough autopsy, and that's what she's doing. And I do think we need to... She was nodding as she was saying no. And she said clearly some things right now. What I'm going to say is, if you work in a certain field, say in pathology, you are not going to put down other pathologists. It's not how it works. So she said, look, they've done a thorough autopsy. But if you listen to her in a minute, she talks about some things they didn't do. Now, in my opinion, if you didn't even look at the throat area, one of the main reasons people die is strangulation or asphyxia, you haven't done a thorough autopsy. You haven't. You didn't even look at her throat. So she does go on to say some other things. And I think she's saying it in a way where she's being productive, but she's not being... combative of the first autopsy. Thank you, Lawrence Smith. Thank you, Paula. Thank you, everyone, for the gifts. And one of the things they did ask is not to make it political. Don't make it about they didn't do this, but you've done this. So I think she's absolutely thank you, Kieran. Thank you, Donna. She's covering herself at the same time, but we just need to switch. Say, could the embalming cover the injuries? No, Harley Bob, I don't believe that's true, because I believe she advised the legal team exactly how she wanted her embalmed to be able to do exactly what they needed to do. That's obviously external, the injuries. I do worry a little bit if after a certain period of time, the changes in the skin and stuff, whether you would still be able to see certain injuries, which is why she's asked, first of all, to see the photos from the side of the pool and that. Yeah, sorry guys, I had to go off for a minute. Obviously someone come in with an account of my dead father, his picture and his full name, so it just really shocked me, and I just had to come off and have a little cry. Trevor Williams, Kiddie Fiddler's in here now. You're not going to beat me. Carry on doing what you... That's a picture of him and Tegan. Okay, cool. Keep going. Brilliant. I just need to ignore it. I just need to pay. I just need to carry on. Just let him do it.
Ruled that Adriana Young drowned.
I just let him do it.
Would you come to that conclusion?
At this point in time, I would not come to that conclusion.
Just keep coming in and just getting their
I
kicks.
think that there's a lot of information that needs to be gained, a lot of investigation that needs to be done. Drowning is a diagnosis of exclusion, and by that, it means that you have to exclude other potential causes of death. And oftentimes, when a body is found in water, the assumption is that the person has drowned. There is nothing at autopsy that is diagnostic of drowning.
Let them show themselves,
so again, that's what I mean by saying drowning is a diagnosis of exclusion. And in this case, what I have been told regarding the circumstances are so suspicious that I really think that there needs to be a very...
Right, so if we just listen to this bit, I'm not gonna bow to it, do you know what I mean? You're not gonna ruin my dad's reputation, you're not gonna say anything. You're a little dickhead on TikTok who's coming in here to get kicks. Do you know what kind of person has to do that? I'm not gonna put sub chat only on, because they'll just wait and do it in other ways. Like, the account's there now. You'll never beat me, and you won't beat me with my father. My father was a great guy. I loved the kids, and you're taking weird pictures off Facebook, you're a fucking sicko. I'm not doing it. So if you heard her say then, she said that drowning is by process of elimination. Thank you, Shirley. You'd have to rule everything else out first, and then you would come back with a final thing. And she's just saying, I wouldn't be able to block usernames. So I'm going to listen to that bit again, because she goes on to say it's suspicious. So listen to this bit.
So those are the things that I was mindful of in the course of doing this examination.
And did you find any evidence of trauma?
No, I did not.
Secondly, the first autopsy ruled that Adriana Young drowned.
Let's keep it.
Would you come to that conclusion?
At this point in time, I would not come to that conclusion. I think that there's a lot of information that needs to be gained, a lot of investigation that needs to be done. Drowning is a diagnosis of exclusion, and by that, it means that you have to exclude other potential causes of death. And oftentimes, when a body is found in water, the assumption is that the person has drowned. There is nothing at autopsy that is diagnostic of drowning. So again, that's what I mean by saying drowning is a diagnosis of exclusion. And in this case, what I have been told regarding the circumstances are so suspicious that I really think that there needs to be a very thorough investigation. And I would want to know the results of, say, toxicologic testing or drug testing from the first examination, as well as any additional testing that was done.
I think this is going to be a big bone of contention because the people that did the first autopsy and took the first samples do not want to hand those things over. Like, they put out that she had, they didn't put out any of those things that you know, that she would have been tested for. They've just said, oh, she had ethanol, which we know obviously is in decomp anyway, is alcohol. So we don't actually know. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you guys for being so great. I am just going to try and fake it till I make it right now because it's crazy what people are doing tonight. Yeah, it's a really scary one, right? Because we don't know if those samples were taken. We don't know where those samples are. We don't know if they have been tested. Yeah, so Pixie, she's saying 100%, like, I'm not going to say that she's drowned. She said when she was talking about it, I'm reluctant to say that Adriana Young drowned. Like, I'm reluctant to say that. Thank you, guys. And she just said, like, it's very suspicious, these circumstances. Thank you guys so much. With the what in the lungs. So what I'm worrying about is she had the second look at organs. So any liquid in them, it would have been taken out. Obviously, things change over time, especially human organs. Once you're dead, like, things aren't going to be the same. And she did say, look, this wasn't this wasn't like a great autopsy to do because I was working with a degraded body and degraded organs. I just feel like there's more that she's not saying because she goes on to say how suspicious it is in nature and all of that. I'll keep playing it and then we'll talk about it.
In accordance with the first autopsy.
So you would be very reluctant to say that this child drowned?
Yes, I would. Based on the circumstances that are reported to me, I would.
And you would recommend a thorough criminal investigation?
Yes, I would.
I also observed that you mentioned that there was some part of the body that was not examined. Could you take me through that?
Exactly.
Well, I don't know if I could say necessarily that it was not examined, but looking at the structures of the neck, the hyoid bone, which is a U-shaped bone that sits at the base of the tongue, as well as the thyroid cartilage, which is part of the voice box or the larynx, they still had a good bit of soft tissue, muscle, and whatnot around them. Now, certainly you could feel them and tell that they were intact, but for a case such as this, I wanted to expose them a little bit more so that there's no question that these structures were not broken.
How problematic, doctor? How problematic?
So she does go on to, like she's just said, like they never checked her throat properly. They hadn't looked at the hyoid bone or anything. Thank you guys for the gifts. They just wanted to kind of check. CS people keep coming in here and making accounts of my dead dad, saying horrific things about him with his picture that they've taken. So I'm not doing great at the moment, but I just need to be able to continue the live and not let them beat me. Yeah, so she did say, like, I've looked at the hyoid bone, I've done all of those things. When it comes to essay, my belief on the essay is that she has sent off certain testing from what I've been told. So she has sent off what we'd call kind of a rape kit. I believe that is the case. I believe she's saying from just looking that she didn't see any trauma. However, I don't see how she hasn't seen any trauma. One of the questions I know that the family had for her was the skin discoloration, etc., and that's not been answered. Can we get rid of Rosie, please? So that to me means that, and she did say, like, I want to go away. I want to look at the samples and stuff like that. So I believe that she is kind of holding off until she has full answers. She definitely uses words like criminal investigation, suspicious. She definitely uses some really big words that makes you think like she does have a good hold on what's happened here. That's personally for me, I do believe that.
Would it be to say that Adriana Young drowned?
Again,
I have seen
think
them,
it is
Jay. We'll talk about them in a little while.
because of drowning being a diagnosis of exclusion, and what I was told regarding the circumstances of her disappearance and death and the subsequent finding of the body in a pool where it reportedly had previously been searched and she was not there. That I find very disturbing. It's not like she was seen playing in the water and then a little bit later is found under the water. This, as was told to me, she was seen in the water and then disappeared. And the pool was searched, she was not there, and then sometime later is found in the pool. That is disturbing because I don't think you can simply write it off as this child drowned. You've got to be concerned, did she die sometime earlier and then was placed in the pool, because there's not going to be any good way to discern whether or not that happened. That's going to require an investigation and additional testing to see if there's anything that may be amiss, such as unexpected drugs in her system or any indication of a sexual assault. Things like this need to be considered and need to be looked at, given, again, the circumstances that were reported to me.
Doc, I need to ask, and I must. Did this body lose any forensic value?
I would say yes. The examination that I had the opportunity to do is compromised at this point because, again, it's a second autopsy. So we have issues of artifacts that are introduced by the first autopsy. We've got decomposition that has taken place, and we've got embalming that has occurred.
Yeah.
Now, so that introduces a lot of artifact to the body, and it compromises the examination somewhat. But this diagnosis and this investigation doesn't hinge just on the autopsy. It primarily hinges on.
What I worry about a little bit is when she says like, oh, we can't rule out that she was placed back in the water. There must be some way of telling by looking at her body, the bloating, for instance, and the photos at the scene and stuff. There must be, thank you guys, there must be a way of kind of being able to say she wasn't in the water the full time. Thank you, Steph. And I did say earlier on to the team, like, do we have even a roundabout time of death? And they were like, we're not talking about that right now. So I don't know if there's going to be more to come. I don't know if maybe in a week or whatever, when all the test results have come back, they will make a full statement. I do know at this time, thank you, Truth Seeker, I'll have a look in a bit. I do know at this time, they are trying to operate under a little bit of secrecy because they know the kickback they're going to get from Guyana. So I do believe they probably want to get all their ducks in a row before they put out everything. But I do believe what they've kind of said, and I do know the legal team, the mum and everyone have felt like last night was good. Like they felt like it was a good day. So I do believe they do have more information than we have. Like I do believe that.
The investigation of the death or the investigation of any potential crime that occurred in association with this child's disappearance.
What next for you? What next from here? From the autopsy table, what next?
Well, what next for me is I will generate my report. I will look at slides from the tissue, under the microscope. These I don't think are going to be, helpful in propagating or furthering the investigation. For me, I would be more concerned about the results of the first examination and any testing that occurred in accordance with that first examination. Because, as I said, based on my essentially doing quality control checking in the second autopsy, I think the first examination, at least technically from what I could see in association with doing the second autopsy, was done very competently and thoroughly, and I would want to see what the results are.
Finally, Doc, before I let you go, I've heard of your unblemished character long before I got here. I did some background checks as well.
She's got
and I
really
see
good
that you
history.
have challenged a lot of state cases. Secondly, that means that you
Commander.
might have dealt with a lot of criminal cases. How would you point our policemen, our detectives, in what direction you think we should look to get a more conclusive findings on this case?
Well, that's an interesting question, especially since we're dealing with a country that I really don't have any familiarity with. But certainly, and I don't know exactly what resources are available, but any ability to look at surveillance video around the time of her disappearance, and see what can be gleaned from that. Also, if there are any video around the pool at the time, around the time she was then discovered, to see if she was placed in the pool or what transpired between her disappearing and searches of that area where she's not located and then her being discovered. So I think a lot of maybe just legwork going on and seeing if anybody saw anything, if there was anything recorded, captured on video. Because these days it seems as though nothing is private. Big Brother is watching us all the time, it seems. So I would say that's something that would be of concern to me. And also, as I mentioned from the first examination, a thorough toxicological evaluation to see if there's anything that's unexpected in her bloodstream. And also if sexual contact type specimens were collected to ensure that they are tested and see if there was any indication that...
What she means by Big Brother is we live in a Big Brother society right now where everything is covered by CCTV. So it's very hard to be anywhere in the world without being looked at on some kind of camera, whether it be a doorbell camera. We call it like a Big Brother society because like we're being watched at all times. I do believe the nurse. I believe she was there. And I do believe I'm okay, Brooke. It's been a hard day. Very hard day. With just people getting fucking dark. There should be some kind of rule about dragging people's dead family members onto TikTok and making fake accounts, calling my dad a kiddie fiddler and stuff like that, using my kids' pictures, but people are dark. And that, Carmen will catch up with these people. I just cannot be fucked to let people get me down using my father. So it is what it is. I can't talk about it anymore because I'm just going to end the live again. So it's a really hard process, and I think for all of us, I think he's been in here twice already today in different accounts. They found his memorial page on Facebook. Just let them do what they want to do. Thank you, Claire. These are full grown adults doing it, do you know what I mean? Using my dead father. It's a lot. Especially when I'm only trying to help people online and I'm here talking about a little girl who's died trying to get her justice. And you want to do that with my dead family members, but my dad was anything but, so it's just fucking disgusting. Sorry, I'm finding it really hard to concentrate because I'm just waiting for more. So far, okay, thank you, Sugar Bliss. So far, they haven't handed over all the paperwork. Now, I personally do not believe... I'm okay, Grumpy. Dying inside, but I'm okay. I don't believe they took all of the tests. I don't think they've done full toxicology reports. I don't think they've taken samples of water. I don't think they sent any samples to America. I think they've completely lied. And I don't think those things exist. Because all they said is, yep, toxicology's back. There was ethanol. That's it. Well, what we heard last week from the president of Guyana is him saying, I don't see why we need to give the family that anyway. Like, I don't see why they're entitled to it, which is really odd. We had, thank you, sweet cheek. She did look at the neck. She says she looked at the neck quite closely. She even took the tissue away and it hadn't been done before. So she looked at it and she said ethanol is alcohol. That's basically what it is. And your body actually produces ethanol in death. It also produces THB. Not THB. What do I want to say? What's it? GHB, the date rape drug. It actually produces that as well during decomp. So it's very hard sometimes to tell whether that's been placed into the system or it's been put there. But GHB hasn't been seen in hers so far, but they haven't given us a full breakdown. So anyone who does a toxicology report, you would have a list of everything that has been tested for and exactly what the levels are. But all they're saying, oh, it's got ethanol. Like, now hang on a minute, what about sleeping medication? What about benzos? What about all of those things? Like, tell us everything. So that's what the legal team was saying yesterday. Dexter Todd, when he was in the interview, like, what about the rest of the toxicology? Do you know, I'm not going to put sub-only on because I feel like in a way it's letting them beat me. And these people are being sick anyway, and they're going to go from live to live with my dad's name and saying the things they're saying about him. So I'm just gonna brave it, and I'm just gonna sit here and I'm gonna do my true crime live. There is a lot of people on this app who would not cope with just what happened, and I will never ever ever leave this app. And the more they do like this, the more other people and other creators and other normal people will support me and realise it's gone way too far. Like, you can't do this to people over and over again. And when you ask these people why they don't like me, it's because I've got a lot of attention in a case, or because my account's too big, or because I'm white. There's no real reason. I've not done anything to anyone. I'm not in any WhatsApp groups. I'm not talking about anyone. I'm not doing anything. I'm literally just here doing a true crime live about victims. And to bring in two accounts, one with my dad and my daughter, I'm calling my dad a kiddie fiddler, and another one of my dad with his full name and his picture, which you've both taken both those pictures off the memorial page. Both of those pictures, my dad is a beautiful looking man. He was a great guy. He was a great grandfather. And you are literally just showing who you are. Like, honestly, I ended the live the first time because I just couldn't believe that someone had made an account of my dead father and he came into the live. But all of those people, you have to live with yourself and what you create. And what you do to other people will come back to you. And this isn't people from Guyana doing this. This is people from the UK. Full-grown women who are doing this and getting some sick kick out of it. But karma works in mysterious ways, and it will come to your door. It will come to your door. Like, I managed to sit here and stay here in that because I'm good with myself. Like, I'm good with myself. You can say whatever you want about my dad. My dad was an upstanding man. You'll never find anything about my dad. He was a great guy whose life was taken far too soon. And we all love my dad. Like, I live for my dad every fucking day, so you're not going to do that. You're not going to make out that he's anything like that. Like, that's not what knocks me. It's the fact that you've gone and sought out his page to drag him to the app. And I hope you feel good with yourself, and I hope you get run over tomorrow, to be really fair. But Arctic Trot.
She may have been sexually assaulted, although I did not see anything physically demonstrable with the body that would lead one to believe that that would be a concern regarding why you would have an 11-year-old kind of disappear, potentially be abducted, and then wind up dead.
Lastly, before you go.
So she said she saw no outward signs of sexual assault. But she has sent away some testing, but she said I didn't see anything to kind of make me think that there had been that kind of trauma. However, I think we all agree on the fact that Adriana was taken for a purpose, no matter what people believe. Some people believe that was ritualistic, some people believe it was sexual. Whatever plans they had for Adriana, they did not have the time to do. We know that that within 2 hours of her going missing, they had the weight of the world at their door, Sir Brian, all of those things. There was no time to carry out what they planned to carry out. And I think it's important to note that not all SA happens by penetration. I'm just going to say it that way. There is other things to look at, which is why she's taken test example. Thank you, Kieran. So we have to. If I was her as well, thank you, Joanne, thank you. If I was unsure of something, not quite sure, and I knew it was a second autopsy, which I had to be 100% right on because the first one had been fucked up, even if I suspected something, I'd be like, I'm waiting on the testing. Like, I'm waiting to be 100% sure because I already know that these people are calling out all of this shit. So I'm not going to, because at some point her autopsy is going to go up against other doctors from New York, from Mount Sinai Hospital and stuff. So she's got to be really sure on what she's saying, because there is going to be a war of the words with both the autopsies, right? There is going to be, no matter how you look at it, there is going to be a war backwards and forths about the results. So this woman, and by the way, she has got an amazing history in her work. I looked into her yesterday and I thought, wow, she's got an unblemished record. So she's not someone who takes weird chances. She's not somebody who goes against the grain. She's somebody who's very confident in her scientific work and her testing, etc. So I believe that for me, I would be a lot like her and be saying, like, you know, this is what I can clearly not see right now, but let me just tell you what we're doing so far to kind of put in stuff to further it. And the toxicology will tell us a lot. All of those things. I wish you'd done the first autopsy as well. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you, Kaylee. And this is what Guyana have hoped for, right? They've kind of pushed the parents into a fact where you have to wait for all this paperwork to go through, and at the last minute they just sign off on the autopsy. Yep, take her to America, because you know by that point that they're dealing with a degraded body. It's been over a month. So you know that they're not going to get a stellar kind of autopsy because you've really pushed them into so much, which is so sad. But you're gonna have to go because I'm not in the mood for comedy today. So we're just discussing the autopsy from yesterday. We don't have a lot of information. We only have like kind of what Jilly been out to come back, didn't I? I can't let people beat me like that. You know, I think she addresses the fact that it's very suspicious. It's very suspicious. It's very imagine making a fake account, just call me a mental lady. You could have done better than that. Very suspicious. And she says there needs to be a full criminal investigation, and I believe that says a lot, because you don't have a criminal investigation after crime has been committed. Hey, nurse and bowels were inside out. Oh, you mean they said the anus was? Thank you, Karen. The nurse in that voice note. I'm not sure about that nurse. The one from the hospital, I don't know. I think we're going to have to wait for a full report and then see what comes of it. But, you know, we're never going to have the two reports to compare side by side, I don't believe. And I do believe the reason why, because someone get killed a K as well. I believe the reason why they won't give up the first autopsy from Guyana is because right now they haven't put anything legal out. Because once you hand over a full report with signatures, then you're breaking the law. So all of that stuff will then come back on you. So right now they've just said it on the media, right? So they can be like, well, that's not exactly what I said. Thank you, victim advocate. I don't see them handing it over, but I know that Dexter Todd is working very hard on receiving it all. So he's going through the courts and he's kind of trying to push to see it. I've got coffee here. I know people keep saying open a buzzball. It's the last thing I need. I'll be an emotional wreck. So they only have really kind of basic stuff, which was the same report that we had put out, which was just basically, why don't you question the family that was there? I have, Super. I put up videos accusing Gran and Stefan because I absolutely do believe that something untoward happened, and it had to be from the people that were with her and she trusted. No, Dexter Todd is from Guyana.
24 hours.
Oh. I don't know who's going to take on. I don't know who's going to take on the case now. I think it all really depends on the full autopsy from this lady and the full results. They are going to have something quite strong to be able to get people at the FBI involved, and I'm really worried about that. I'm really worried about having kind of enough to make us all realise like something happened to her, but not enough for us to ever get justice, if you know what I mean. I do think it has to be, you know, somebody has to be able to say at the end of the day, in definite terms, this little girl was murdered. And normally you would have that from the medical examiner, is normally who makes the ruling, before the police will take on a case. And I know other cases that we've all kind of covered, that, like Ellen Greenberg. Remember the case we covered of Ellen Greenberg, where she was the woman in America found in her kitchen slumped on the floor, and she had several stab wounds, including to the back of her neck and all down her back. And they said it was suicide, and there was no possible way this woman could have done it. But the medical examiner said, nope, it was self-unaliving. And for years, her parents fought to get it overturned as a murder. Can we see what's going on in the comments? And if it is someone that needs to be blocked, can we just block them? Because I don't want any hate in here right now. To get it overturned. Only recently they've been able to do it, and it's been over 10 years. It's been over 10 years since they've been able to get it. And Ellen Greenberg, we proved scientifically, so many people did, like doctors, everyone, that she could never have done it herself. But because the husband, who was probably responsible, his parents and his uncles and that were all judges, they managed to get it to a point where it took them 10 years to get that. So it's normally the medical exam that make the ruling, like either murder, suspicious, or just accident. And then once they make that ruling, the police are like, we're not investigating, it's not a murder. So we really need her. We really need her to make a strong statement of, this is homicide, somebody did this to Adriana. Otherwise, I don't see us moving forward with it. And that's really hard to say when you've got such a massive people against you, like the government of Guyana, the police of Guyana. You are going to need something very, very clear in writing to go to the FBI with, to even pique their interest. Do you know how many people every single day want the FBI's help? Thank you, Claire. Thank you for the subs. That's what we're going to need. I think her report will be like perfect, because look at her. They picked her for a reason, right? And they picked her for a reason. She's there for a reason. And hey, Ollie. And they were absolutely. I think the FBI will help, but I think they'll need something to help. I'm ignoring the negative people. So we're going to talk about the video that came out today. So the video that came out today was of the pool. Now, from my understanding, the video wasn't taken by Adriana or any of her family. It was taken by another family at the pool, and the video centres on other children in the pool. However, it's what you can hear in the background, and you can kind of hear the grandmother say, has anyone seen Adriana? Now, what is really weird about this video is a news page in Guyana put the video out. I'm going to play it in a second. Thank you, Kiwi. They put the video out, and it's just of a girl in a pool, and you can hear some noise in the background. I couldn't hear everything they were saying. It said they were saying, people were going, Adriana, Adriana. Choosing self-love. Thank you so much. I love you. Thank you so much. And thank you for always being so supportive. All of you as well. Tonight, I think it's been the hardest live I've ever had to sit through. But I also know emotionally I have to sit through it, because if I don't, then I won't come back. So I know I just need to get through it and not let these people beat me. No matter how low they go, I'm just gonna have to sit here and let it happen. I'm not going to be beaten by TikTok after what I've survived. I'm just not. Yeah, so I did the video in the pool. Was so bizarre to me, because a news page put it out and they were like, here we've got proof of like the first minutes where Adriana went missing, and then they took it down and retracted it and said, we're going to consider our policy from now on about what we're choosing to put out. And it's like, what do you mean? What was wrong with it? What was wrong with the video? Like, it was just a little bit to add to the case. It wasn't anything major. It wasn't, you guys on the news page, you put out pictures of her body dead in the pool, and you were okay with that, which obviously it's helped her case, but you're okay with that, but you're not okay with posting something in the background where someone's saying, has anyone seen Adriana? Like, it's mad. And you could tell, I'll show you their, thank you guys. I'll show you so they put out this video. So before I go for it, let me just go what Ali sent me earlier. I'm not going to dox you this time, Ali. So it's the statement they put up afterwards, right? Listen to the wording. I'm going to play the video in a minute. Listen to the wording. So they put it up for about an hour, then they dropped this statement. The newsroom has taken the decision to remove a video we posted on our social media platforms depicting an activity at the Doubleday pool the day Adriana Young went missing. Our intent was only to inform the public. As journalists, we have a duty to balance the public's right to know with the sensitivity and respect for those affected in the community and country. In light of this, we've removed the footage from our platform and will continue to review our editorial standard to ensure that compassion and responsibility remain central to our reporting. We appreciate the feedback we have also received and remain committed to ethical journalism that serves the public interest with care and integrity. Like, what? Why? Who told you to remove that video, and what is it in that video? Now, one of the clear things that we can see in the longer video which was released, which I don't even think I saw the longer one because I've got a screenshot. Oh, thank you, Choosing Self-Love. Thank you so much. I don't even think I saw the full video because I didn't see this this screenshot from it. So this video here, and I don't have a time for this, but this video here shows kids in the pool. Adriana is missing. And look at this picture. Who else is missing in this picture? The son. And this was taken off a video where you can hear the nan saying, Gran, where's Adriana? And we see the owner's son is gone, and so is Adriana. So it's quite literally probably Stefan called her over, the hotel owner's son and the man in the red from the bar, everybody left and took her. So we don't know if Stefan's there or not, to be fair, but I'm just saying that we know in the second picture of Adriana, Stefan had already gone. Now we see the man who was watching in the pool is gone from the spot that he was stood at. Just zoom in here. That's not Adriana there, I just wanted to check. I can't see her. Some of the kids are a bit blurry, but there's no one to fit in her description or clothing. So I'll play you the video that was put out. I need to play my own one. I'm literally sat here like a snotty mess. Oh, thank you, Choosing Self-Love. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much. You're so generous. I literally, I've got it anyway. I managed to I screen record everything because I just don't know when it's ever going to take it down. Do you have work to do, White Pantry? Yeah. Oh, you're the horrible person that keeps making fun of Sir Brian. I'm going to block you. Keep saying on all my videos, oh, it's just a money-making scheme. Thank you, Sean, so much. So this is the video. Let me just play it for you guys. Right, so have a look at the video. Can we turn off the comments for a second? Have a look at the video, but listen more. So you want to concentrate on what's being said. So I can only hear at one point the grandmother saying, has anyone seen Adriana, or where's Adriana? Thank you, Mama Boys. I can't hear all the other things. So they're saying like at 10 seconds you hear someone saying Adriana, and then you can hear people panicking. I don't hear that. I hear the grandmother saying, has anyone seen Adriana? But just see what you can hear. So this is the video. This isn't Adriana, by the way. Anybody see Adriana? So that's all I can hear is, can anyone see? Has anyone seen Adriana? Like a question. I don't hear any of the other like build up where people keep seeing and they can hear people saying her name. I've had enough of people. Yeah, me too, ads. I've had enough of people today. So we don't know who's recording it. We know it was concentrated on another family. But can you tell me? why the news would have to have taken that down. Like, why would that need to be taken down with such sensitivity? I forgot last time how I can play it at times too. At half. I don't know how to do that. Is there a way I can do it? Did someone tell me how to do it last time when I slowed down the video? Oh yeah, I can do it. Show it at half speed. Should we do that? So maybe it will slow it down the sound. Should I play it that way? Oh, it's not going to be bad news, is it, Jojo? Because I don't think I can take anymore. Don't make me cry on live. I'm going to have a look. Can I see? Oh, I'm going to play it at half speed. Well, that's well nice, Sophie, that does. That's made me really hungry. Thank you, Minnie. Oh, thank you, Jojo. So somebody called Anika Baird has said, Ray Lily, that's my that's videos of my daughter in that pool, and the police had taken them in for question and took the phone to get the pictures. They were shown on Facebook and they collected the video and now decided to post it. What is the purpose of that video now? Guyana police force are very corrupt. And that to me says it all. Like, you had that from day one. You had that from day one when you took in people